Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Okay, so I have so many thoughts, and there are so many discussions. Like, I keep saying that, but my life is so messy. If you knew of all of the things I have to look up and research, because again, I am still pretty newly diagnosed. It hasn't been even 5 years yet. And so people are like, that's a long time. No, it's not. I was born with a disability, had to live and figure out how to live normally, quote unquote. And even though my body was literally tearing down, breaking apart, and I had to fight through it all that time and show an image of normalcy, or I would get punished or ridiculed or told that I was never going to be anything, anybody, or dot, dot, dot. Yeah, the mental health. We. And that's one reason why I do my channel, because I have been through it. People from college, Oakland University, did not believe me. I literally even showed evidence like once or twice, and still they did not believe me. I told them what was going on at home, and because I have a perfect sister, they did not believe me. So yeah, I do this because I can't be the only one, and I know I'm not the only one, because I have conversations with other people who were diagnosed later in life. A lot of them are still younger than me, but it's later in life, and we talk about our doctors and the health system and how many of them either blamed us or they just shrugged, like, no, get over it, it's nothing. But anyway, I talk, like, if you're new, just know I talk about dating nightmares and politics, river of racism. I show and look at a lot of different types of racism, and pretty soon I'm going to be talking about the nightmare situation that our Snow White is going through, or at least the things I notice on Facebook and different discussion feeds, and how racist, bigoted, and ugly much of our country still is, even though they want to pretend they're not racist while they are racist. But I need to probably redo some of my Disney Little Mermaid episodes, because, yeah, I was brand new. And I don't know, it's just I need to, yeah, but it's like, at least look at them, because I have screenshots of the some of the ugly racist things people were saying about Haley Bailey, which she is absolutely a talented, beautiful, artistic, lovely human being. And the calling her a mer slave, for example, or a she's not a mermaid, she's a mermaid, and those are two examples from the same person. And then there was one white girl who I've used her, like, because, yeah, it's like I reuse screenshots in different videos, because no one's going to watch all of my videos, I know. And I'm petty. So when I have people from dating apps trolling me, hating on me, either because I have 3 degrees, 3 certifications, and I'm gonna keep saying that, from like any room, every room I can, because especially certain people in this nation want to shut us up. They want to close the books on us. They want us to be ignorant. They want us to be uneducated. They want us to be quiet. They want us to settle and do nothing, or they want us to never be the CEOs, the presidents of companies, the owners, or the directors. They just want us to be at certain levels where we are always serving to the white man, the white person. So I am gonna say, like, if I keep saying what I have, what I worked so hard for, Hopefully, there are going to be other people that listen. If they're thinking of giving up, you're talking to a black woman with a disability. A black woman with a disability. And my disability comes with a learning disability. And for years, I was so frustrated on why it took me so long to be able to study and grasp information. And I hated it. And I used to have to start teaching myself different ways in order to learn the information. And even when I was a promotional model, it's like whenever, like especially working for a new client, and they in the training they said you're going to be secret shopped and stuff like that, having to learn different tricks to absorb as much information as humanly possible, and even going over and beyond to make sure that when I get secret shopped or when I'm doing the job, they see that I'm putting my all into it and that I deserve to stay on either this crew or once this project is over, like they'll hire me for the next level. So I do this because some people say I'm bragging. I'm not bragging. It's like being a professor for about 6 years, after being in the substitute teacher slash teacher role for about 10 years, after being a promotional model for about 12 years. Some of them were at the same time, so don't be like, dang, that's like, how old is this woman? I did some, like, I worked 2, 3, 4 jobs at the same time before because I've had so many other jobs. But I say these accomplishments because, especially when I was like teaching as an adjunct professor, a lot of African American males, especially, it's like they would start the semester, some like not in a lot of them, not even in my class, majority of them not in my class, but like they would see me, and sometimes most of them thought I was a student. They're like, oh, hey, how are you doing, what's up? A couple times they were hitting on me, and I'm like, nope, nope, okay, hold up, wait a minute, I'm not a student. I'm a professor. And then, I mean, they'd apologize. Like, I remember, oh my gosh, one of them, he apologized so quickly. It was kind of funny. I'll tell that story a different day. But the beginning of the semester, I would see them. But then slowly, as the semester went on, they disappeared. And there were some students where, after a couple years, when I realized what was going on, I'm like, okay, they're dropping, they're quitting, but why are they quitting? And so I would be talking to them, I would be hearing what's going on. And with some of them, I was like, promise me, promise me I'm going to see you until that end day. Don't give up. It's like if there's a way you can study during your breaks at work or at home or whatever, if you can have a study group, I'm like, stick with me. And with some of those students, they weren't in my class, but I told them every day before you, because like since I run into them, either they have a class after, like before my class, or sometimes after, but it's like usually it was the same time. So I gave them like an assignment, come by my classroom so I see you. And they're like, why? I was like, no, I want to make sure you're still here. I want to see you. So I was like, you don't even have to say anything. You don't even have to say anything. Just poke your head in the door, wave. It's like even okay, if you're late to class, come during your break. Come during your break. Because in the back of my mind, I'm gonna be like, did he come today? What's going on? So even okay, so if you're late during your break, just wave your hand or whatever. And so it's like I had some students, they did that. And then there was one time when one student, like 2 or 3 weeks, I did not see him. And I knew which class he had, and I asked the professor what's going on, and they're like, "Oh, I think he's okay." I was like, "Have you seen any assignments?" No, but I mean, if he gave up, not please, can you please email him, check what's going on? And they did and found out what was going on. And then I remember one of my classes where I'm gonna get on my topic, but this kind of leads on to it. But I remember right when COVID happened, I was teaching a class, and right before, one of my students they weren't they they, they weren't there, and it was odd. And it was one of my African American male students and everything, but I was like, every class, they would raise their hand. Their participation was on point. They were so impressive. Oh, this is the same semester as the grape drink crew, the crew that was so racist and like just bigoted. Oh, where do I even? I do as much as I can, and it's like I do. I mean, and some people are like, "Oh, so you only do that for black students?" Not like some of the students were even white, Hispanic, and Asian, but it's like I know the percentages of how many African American males, especially, drop out. African American and especially African American men drop out of school, drop out of college. And that's why I will keep saying how many degrees I have, how many certifications. And I would go back and get a fourth degree or certification, but right now I'm like, just work on your books, right? Like, you have to move on. It's like, I kind of wish I got one of my masters in English or writing and things, but I didn't. Too bad, so sad, you know? But I still have my passion. I know how to write, so I'm gonna do what I can. And I've kind of realized that one reason people hate me is because it's like part of me is like they can't be jealous of me, but maybe it is jealousy. Because whenever Mr. No Heart's mom would just tear me apart and just put me down or say that I've only gotten things because I'm black, it's like I have to remember that none of her kids have gotten some of many of the accomplishments I've gotten. So I think it was jealousy. And some people are not gonna like that I say it, and I don't even like saying it because part of me was just like, you don't know what I had to go through. You don't know what I had to fight through. And that's another thing. Some people think just because I'm black, oh, they're lazy, so she didn't earn it. She's lazy, so the professor didn't really like. Because I've had men especially tell me this about college. Oh, well, the professor knew you were black, so dot dot dot. And I'm like, well, my classes were what my master's degrees were virtual, so unless they looked me up and looked up my picture, I don't think they would have known. They're like, well, your name. Hmm. Oh, okay. Wow. So, so you're saying I don't deserve my degrees? You'd say I could not have, like, deserved, like, my GPAs or my, like, and sometimes I just feel like it's so disgusting. And, like, so then when I don't want to talk to them anymore, that's when they get mad at me. That's when they get mad at me. And I'm like, how are you mad at me when you literally showed me your bigotry? And like you guys already know, like Thomas like ghosted me because I published my second children's book. And for years, like, I haven't published another book in years. And it's because after him, guy after guy, like, and some people, like, some guys are like, no, that's your fault, or then stop publishing books. Then why are you trying to be so much? Why are you trying to act like you're special? I'm living my dream. It's like I'm pursuing what I've always wanted to pursue. Like, and some men hate that. Some men are jealous that women, especially black women, are pursuing their dreams and goals. That's scary. That's disgusting. That's stupid. So many men just think that my only goal is to have kids. And the thing is, I've always wanted kids, but I keep bumping into men that want me to do nothing but praise them and have their babies. Mr. No Heart, if you've been listening to the videos, because I like the video game story and everything. Mm, the beginning of the why I broke up with Mr. No Heart, I finally finished the very, very, very extremely, extremely rough extremely rough version of my first novel. And I wanted him to read it. I was excited because I finished it. And I think I finished it within like 3 or 4 months. I was so proud of myself. And yes, I know I'm gonna need, like, I'm, I've learned and realized why I'm taking forever to finish it, because I'm scared. Because he told me right to my face, the only way I'm gonna read it is if you actually publish it. And he knew that hurt me. And with one of my poems I showed him in college, it's like I asked him to read it and he was playing video games. He's like, "Oh, I'll read it later this week." And when I went to his house, like he was gonna be getting off work soon, but he kept the door unlocked for me. I went in to start dinner and I went to throw away some eggs, and yeah, he threw it away. He threw it away. He still doesn't know that I caught, like, it's like he doesn't know there's so many reasons why I broke up with him, but he doesn't know how much that hurt. But I realized he was jealous because once he realized that it was over, that I was done with him, that I never want to see him again, that's when he wanted to read it. "Oh, I'll read your novel then. I'll read it now. Oh, I see, like, I'll read it." Dummy, dummy. And then, like, when his mother knew that it was over, that's when she decided to say, "But you're the best thing that has ever happened to him." Yeah, but so everything I get is only because I'm black, but I'm the best thing that ever happened to your son. Everything that I have ever accomplished is only because I'm black, but I'm the best thing that has ever happened to your son. Hmm. Something to think about, huh? Something for me to think about. So I'm going to be doing a part two because, yeah, I know is a lot of men act like women are not supposed to be at their level or are supposed to be beneath their level and things like that. But they don't realize that if you have a strong woman, it's like we are going to do our passions and uplift ourselves, but we are also going to lend our hand for you. It's like with all of those stories and the examples I gave you, it's like, no, and yeah, I don't deal and I don't tolerate bigotry, because especially white men, a lot of white men, they like, because with Mr. No Heart, with that like college group of boys that I told you about, and I have so many examples of, like, oh, Tomas, all of them hating on me because I'm a black woman. They hated that a black woman was either their professor or that they were dating a black woman that was doing things independently, that was creating and producing things without another man. Without another, like, they hated that I did not need a man's help in order to pursue and to go and be driven in order to create. They hated that. They hated that. So, but anyway, this is the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.